get a little paper book about what's on when. Yeah? If you open that, just inside the front cover is a thing that says www.kiwicon.org/what is the number on my badge. If you go to that page, you will get a whole page of complete gibberish. Does anyone know about statistical analysis of cryptography? Yeah? E is the most common letter of the alphabet in English text. So what you can do is you can drive through what is the most common letter in that whole page of gibberish, and it's a substitution cipher. Several people did it the hard way, grinding through it one letter at a time. Other people noticed patterns. When you've got a letter repeated and a colon and a slash, it's like, well, that's going to be HTTP because TT. And then you know what T's are and go from there. It turns out that that cipher is what's called an ATBASH cipher. So A equals Z and Z equals A, you basically reverse the order of the alphabet. You can do it in Python, you can do it in Shell, you can do it in whatever you want. You can even on the command line just do TR A-Z, Z-A, bang, out it comes. That will tell you to text a phone number. That phone number goes back to a box that we generally can call mission control. You would refer to it as your handler. And your handler will then hand out puzzles, questions, challenges, etc. So when you text in at the very, very beginning, it will say, please give us your 6-digit number starting with 9. So you text that in. And it will send you back a bit.ly link. How many people here trust random bit.ly links sent to them by hackers? It's perfectly trustworthy because it goes to Dropbox. We trust that too, so it's fine. Which gives you a PDF, and they never have malware, so it's all good. It's a chain of events that, you know, if you're dumb enough or smart enough to solve the puzzle, but dumb enough to click the links, then you get to a PDF. And that PDF has a bunch of hacks, and it uses the phrase one-time pad, and it tells you to watch a YouTube video. And a lot of people said, okay, great, where's the YouTube video? Well, you've got to figure that out. So the bunch of hacks in that PDF is also about 30 bytes. Same as all your badges when you combine all your badges. And you XOR one with the other, and out falls a YouTube link that is unique to your team. So about 3 weeks ago, once we sold out, everyone was put into a team at random, and you don't know which team you're in until you watch that video, because there's one video for one team and one video for the other team. The videos are essentially identical, apart from the artwork and the magic secret code at the end. When you text the magic secret code at the end to confirm you watched the video, you are then passed on more puzzles. Now, some people got a message that simply said, more orders at 11 AM Thursday, and that's the last they saw of the challenge, because it turns out there were bugs. So Elsie down the end here is quite the hero. She wrote our control system on Monday and Tuesday in a 26-hour coding session. For 26 goddamn hours. After doing 12 hours on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday evening, like, we had to tear it all down because it turns out that you can't run that many databases in a Pi 1 because you run out of memory. So we had to tear it all down and get a Pi 2 and reinstall the OS and reinstall all the packages. And yeah, there was much swearing at like midnight on Sunday. So yeah, unfortunately there were bugs in the command and control system. But if you got past the YouTube challenge, the next thing you were told was that the network green light, the back door was open. Everyone goes, well, what network? On the end of the console, down this end, there is a lovely sticker that says, manufactured by Stark Industries. www.stark.tron. And the Tron network is run by the Hamilton crowd. That's the CTF network upstairs. Inside the CTF network is www.stark.tron. And in classic fashion, there is a tarball, and you undo the tarball, and there's an inbox file. And the inbox file has an email from some sales guy talking to his developer about how he's doing a demo on Monday and he can't get the code to compile, and can you have a look at the code? And sure enough, there's a table of the code that's inside the console. Sweet. You can go through and you can learn how we generate valid launch authorization codes. It's MD5 and some other shenanigans, so feel free to play on the CTF network. Once you've done that, You confirm that you've figured out that puzzle because the control challenges you. If the target was at these coordinates, what would be the verification code? So you send that in and you get more points. At that point, it's a race to the end. The last two things is you need the target of the enemy and you need the keys, because we have these awesome keys that are used to launch the nuclear weapons. So they were done, the coordinates are by satellite downlink in the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. I'm sure you can figure out what that means. Basically, you were directed to go to a pub in Wellington. When you got there, you found a Wi-Fi hotspot called downlink. And SIGINT tells you that the password is a bit shit. Yeah, password was password. So you get on there and there's a default page and that gives you another token that you text in for more points. And that then tells you to go and look at the source. So you go back to the Wi-Fi hotspot and you look at the source code and sure enough, and there is your target coordinates. So now you've got the coordinates and you know how to make a verification code. Some of your other team members were directed to a different pub to go and collect a briefcase. You get the briefcase, it's locked. You figure out how to pop the lock on the briefcase, because I did lock picking stuff as well. When you open the briefcase, you get yourself your launch keys. At that point, so this was about 4:15 yesterday. We had Boolean value, see here? Yo! And we had Strat4D, see here? Never mind. So they rocked in at about 4:15 with a suitcase, and Boolean value's wearing the beret hat that he found in the suitcase, and they're ready to rock and roll. And yeah, they managed to get a launch. So most of the puzzles in the game are worth like 10, 15, 20 points. Launching the nuclear weapons is worth 1337000 points. So you get a clear winner pretty quickly. So I'm now going to do a demo of the whole console, and we're going to do a test launch, because I'm not authorized to do live warheads in this environment. So as I say, I'm just going to introduce other people on stage. So LZ wrote all the code for mission control. And funnily enough, put up with me having a pair of nuclear launch consoles in the lounge for about 7 weeks. You get the weird conversations, 10 o'clock at night, turning off the lights. Hey honey, did you turn off the nuclear launch system? Seriously, it's been weird. And then we have, sorry, I've forgotten, Travis. So Travis is one of our volunteers down on the reg desk, and he's been handing out the break cards when you ask for a break card. So you get to snap the plastic, which is really satisfying. And then we have Marcus. So Marcus is new. This is his first time at Kiwicon. We convinced him to come along because we gave him a bottle of chloroform and 800 bits of plastic and said, can you glue all these damn things together? And he sat in our lounge for 3 days sniffing chloroform or something. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Cool. So he made all the he made all the break cards. So they are fun to snap. You want to give that a snack? Yeah, that's good fun. We modelled this off what you see in the beginning of war games, where they get the orders and there's the one guy who won't turn the key and the other guy pulls his gun on him and says, turn the goddamn key. So you want to give that a snap, because you haven't had a chance to go on. It's good, eh? Yeah. Alright, so these consoles, interestingly enough, are fully remotely controlled from my phone. So I'm just going to pull out my phone and light this thing up to do a launch. We're going to do a test launch. Hang on. So when a drill comes through, you get this whoop whoop noise and then the phone rings, so we're going to wait for that to happen. Yeah, just wait.
Incoming orders. Stand by.
Yeah, nice classic telephone ringing stuff there. So can I get someone to grab pen and paper? I'll get you to do this. If you could write down what comes through the telephone, all right? So hopefully we're all going to hear this when it goes off.
Target Foxtrot, target latitude 043.
Yeah, it'll go around again, just hang on to that. So what it does is it reads out the target coordinates, latitude, longitude, and a verification code. And some of the latitude, longitude stuff is negative. We should know that because southern hemisphere, you get the idea. The keypad for inputting stuff is actually from an ATM. Don't ask. And yes, that is a payphone handset, again with the don't ask. They were cheap, I know my guy, it's fine. So what you do is you pick up the phone, you listen to the orders, and if you don't hear them, it does the classic military, message repeats. Internally, this whole thing's done off like 1,500 lines of Python. 7 weeks ago, I didn't really know what Python was, and now I write Python apparently. Hey, it works, minimal bugs. Well, some bugs. No bugs you can exploit. Well, no bugs that we think you... Never mind. Right, we got some good numbers? Alrighty. So now what we do is we wake up the thing with hitting the cancel button, and then I got to put in my operator ID because I don't know which team you play for. Shit. Demo file. There we go. Right, do you want to bang in some coordinates there? If you need a negative, it's this button in this corner. So I'm letting him do it because seriously, I'm sick of this damn thing. I've been doing launches at home for weeks, and it's stand up from couch, bang in coordinates, fucking didn't work, sit down, rewrite Python, stand up, bang in. Because you can't sit this on your lap while you're working, Once it's in the lounge, it just sits on the floor because I ain't moving it unless I really, really have to. So we get latitude, longitude, and then we bang in our verification code. So the verification code is predominantly driven off an MD5, which we know is secure. And then I only take the most significant digits because they're significant, so that's fine. We don't need the least significant digits. Alrighty. So now it says challenge code. So what we have to do is we go to the reach desk and we find the right challenge biscuit. And they are all different and they are all unique. As I say, Marcus made 210 of these little buggers in 3 days. And they're all in order, so we get that and you go and snap. Nice. And out comes 2 bits of paper and the inside bit has the code and you bang that in. So for a live launch, we use keys. This is a test launch, so we have an override button that says key overrides enabled. So, who wants to be at the other end? Marcus, jump on the end there. On the count, so you get this discussion a lot downstairs. On 3, so it'll be 1, 2, and then you push, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did that little light come on? It did, there you go, big red button. Right, Marcus, come push the big red button. We wanted a big ass red button, but that was available from Adafruit. Push the button. There we go. 1 minute to impact. So that's pretty much how you go through a long, duck and cover. 1 minute, it's not going very far. So there was a lot of discussion about features. What we wanted to do is have an Easter egg that if you tried to nuke this place, it would give you negative points or something. Yeah, it's 3 days out, we were just burning features. It's it's a nice Easter egg, but we just don't have time for that shit. So these consoles, there are 2 of them downstairs in the foyer. Feel free to come and have a play. Hopefully you guys have got a better understanding of what all the crypto was. I intend to do a blog over the next few days about how we built it. Essentially these boxes are plywood with a Raspberry Pi 2 on the inside. All the switches and buttons. It wants to launch again. All the switches and buttons are programmed into the GPIO, and then we're using Pygame for all the graphics on screen stuff, and it's just a giant state machine, and then all the buttons trigger interrupts that modify the state machine. So there's nothing overly challenging in the software. A friend of mine did the artwork for the flags, which looked better than like the New Zealand flag submissions that are on that voting. You get the idea. So yeah, a friend of mine did the artwork, LZ did the control system, I built the consoles, Marcus did all the biscuits. So yeah, it's like 3 or 4 of us put this together over about 3 months. Our biggest problem now is how do we do something kind of more awesome for next time. But if you've got any questions, feel free to come and see me and I'll tell you how to work. Hope you had fun.